Got it. Okay, so it says we are streaming live on YouTube, and it may take a second to catch up with us, but we're excited to be back. Namaste. I want to show you my cute little mug from my tiny little fishing village. We got
Oh my God, all the flamingos. Flamingos, I keep getting messages through flamingos for the last 3 days.
Yeah, they're, whoops, can hear me. That sounds like we are streaming live now. It may take a second. There we go. Yeah, well, right behind me are the lagoons where all of the flamingos, except those in a zoo, are born on the planet. And we don't see them daily because we face the beach. Occasionally they come fly over the ocean, but they like hanging out in the lagoons over there. So they're a big deal here. And of course, I love them.
I don't really know much about them. And it's funny because they keep coming into my space for the last 3 days, but I didn't know that you were living right next to some.
Right next to them. We just came home. We wanted some for our yard, and we just finally found it. We've lived here a year and a half now. We've been renovating, and now we have a garden going around the pool. So we're bit by bit, very slowly. And we were away for at a town we love with some clients and friends. And we were driving down the road back from a pyramid, and there was a guy selling pots and stuff on the side of the road. And he had these big flamingos in, and I stopped and I'm like, that's it. Cause they were happy looking, they have to look right.
Yes.
So the other ones I've seen just don't look right. Their face or whatever they're made out of. It has to vibe. It has to fit the vibe here. So we do a lot of energy work here. We create a sanctuary, right? So he goes, well, you have to buy the whole family. And I said, well, of course I do. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, so it was 3 of them, different sizes like that. And they've got full happy faces and they're just wonderful. So we have a lot of flamingo energy.
They're telling me to invite them in.
Yeah, so they're kind of here, but we will. And so welcome everybody. We're back on the Dolphin Show. This is Donna Marie, and we're going to be playing with the dolphins. As you can tell, we're already doing that. And beforehand, we're trying to catch up and share what's been happening. And they're coming in already, giving messages to Donna. We've been doing this for a week and a half or 2 weeks or something now, and we're going through the full moon. So make sure you join me on the full moon for our big final celebration. They were giving me downloads today about some pyramid that they have in the etheric realms. That's someplace we're going to go because we've been through this together, and we're going to be like part of the galactic pod or something. So it's going to be amazing. But a little bit about flamingos, since they did come in, but isn't it gorgeous? It's just these funny little mugs, and we like to have them from the places around here. So I was so happy when they finally started making ones for our town. But they they're very interesting guides. So when I first moved into this house, they came a lot, and they stand between the worlds. So they stand in the water. But their top part's up. However, they can be upside down with their head underwater for long periods of time. So they're masters of that balance of living in 2 worlds. They're also masters of balance because they do the one leg thing, They sleep like that too. So that's just part of it, but they're really fun. So we'll invite them in and see what else they have to say. So
I can already feel one trying to channel. Actually, I don't know if you're feeling it.
Let's see. So welcome everybody. And I want to bring you in. So close your eyes and take a deep breath. So you can catch up to Donna and I, because we go at light speed. Mm-hmm. Oh, there they are. So we're up here. It's like we're flying. So we've already created the sacred space. So you're inside of the infinity healing chamber. You can perhaps sense it's like a pyramid above and below you. You're equally between the worlds, above and below, made from silver and gold ray, perfect balance of yin yang. And it brings to you, takes away. We're wrapped in the all-seeing eye, and we're surrounded by the flower of life sphere, which we call the Akashic Ascension sphere. So everything you need to create or uncreate is here, and it brings us between the worlds. And here at infinity, so you could breathe in and just allow yourself to enter this sacred space in reverence. Let the breath go when you need to. Wow. Now we're flying. It was just one flamingo to my left, and now it's like we're in the flock, and they fly in big flocks. All right. They're very, very social. Yeah. They live in big families.
Oh my God. Sorry about that.
So as you receive this and feel yourself coming more into the moment, we've aligned with the dolphins. And every day that we've done this dolphin guide and healing, we've built more and more into the physicality, coming more tangible to us, because the connection has consciously been going back and forth. We've been increasing our intention, our presence. We've been listening, we've been receiving, we've been enjoying. I get so many emails about what's coming up for you, or the delight or the bliss or the relief from pain, the new insights in your soul purpose that have been coming through just this series virtually. So imagine what it'd be like when you come on one of the retreats and be in the water with them 4 days. Now we're shifting things around. So we have 4 kind of half days in the water with the dolphins, and it's a lot. So when you allow yourself to enter this sacred space, just be reverent. Let go of everything, turn off your ringers, and now choose to leave behind everything but love, so that you can rise out. So the flamingos are inviting us to fly with them in their flock. And mostly you see them standing in the water. And they have water, earth, and air. And they exist in all of those layers. But they're bringing us into their air layer, their freedom layer, their ability to fly high. They also honk. If you've ever heard them, they kind of honk, 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 honk. And they don't need to make that sound for communicating. Like all birds, they're connected into the group consciousness, and they can react without even thinking to stay in tune with their flock. And this is what they want you to see. You honk, you say, you express to celebrate your freedom, your life. Your ability to be in a body right now is a huge ordeal, but most people see it as a negative. And so being in a body is like, hey, let's fly, let's get a higher view. Now let's come down and get right down into the water, sink into the earth and feel it nurture you. And then stand and just enjoy the air, the beauty, the water, the wind, the sun. These things all feed you. And then you know how to communicate with your own flock. And first, that's you. That's your soul. That's your blueprint, your higher self, and all these parts of you. All the names, that's fine. But you have all of this. I trust my flock. I know it's there. You don't trust your flock. You don't trust it's there. You second guess, you feel alone, you feel disconnected, you want to do it, but you don't want to do it alone, or you've done it before and it's really hard work. You don't see us doing anything with effort, do you? No. So the beauty of coming into our flock, and as the dolphins have been telling you, once you connect, we are pod, we are one forever. And most likely, whatever is calling you now, you have been a connected pod family with. Once you get in the water with a dolphin, you are connected. I am connected to the Atlantic spotted dolphin pod that I swam with when I was pregnant with my daughter, Jordan. And we are both connected. She's not in body anymore, but they're a pod, they're a family. seen or unseen, when you come and you touch and you kiss and you play and you meditate and you do healing work and you give back and you go heart to heart and eye to eye, and you allow the dolphins to bring the frequency through you, you're receiving in a way that's giving back to the world. They're infusing the waters, and now you are one. So here we are, and we're taking you to a very special place. This is a place that Donna Marie is, it's almost like a land of the sun. And there's an incredible gold pyramid, and it's gold, like made pure gold. And it's on a little island, but it has a walkway up to it. So kind of like in Egypt, you have the walkway up to the pyramid. You have these big guardians. But here, it's shining. It's like reflecting the sun, and everything is lit up. And all around it is pure turquoise, green, all different colors. There's even some purple of these beautiful divine waters. So as we're flying in, you see this from above. You see this through our perspective. We feel comfortable in the earth, in the water, and in the air. And we trust our flock. You too can make enormous shifts that you've been calling for just by deciding to trust. Now we leave you here, and you can come down into the pyramid, onto the pyramid, next to the pyramid, somewhere, and the dolphins are there. There are the golden and the rainbow dolphins. And the gold dolphins that have come through with this mermaids as the holographic gold skin dolphins. Then there are more dolphin collectives. There are dolphins from stars, from the Pleiades and Sirius, from Delphinus, all different places. There's also a gathering now of the ancient civilizations that were connected to the dolphins in a very profound way. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, the Atlanteans, the Lemurians, the Mu, and more. And the pyramids everywhere on the planet, above ground or underwater, are still connected in a grid of gold light. And all that you are doing now is clearing that to become more and more of that clear communication. So everywhere on the planet, we can be a flock to all and give each other the gifts of who we are. Now you're going to feel yourself coming in some way. And I'm going to look up and thank the flamingos. They're just up there. I think they might be circling, but they're slowly moving. And we've been brought to this beautiful place. I know we're going to have our final full moon celebration here. They were showing me this earlier, but not quite in this detail. So take a moment and walk around. Use your skills. Build on the mental plane what this place feels like to you. Draw it, color it in, imagine it, and let the ping come back. So as we welcome Donna Marie, I don't want to interrupt the flow with a bio. So she's a beautiful intuitive channel, and she's already been receiving messages from the dolphins. And there's one more new being here. She started to come in right as I was ending our preparation, blessing, and creating space we were doing before the call. And they stopped me and said, wait. So there was a woman, I want to say Atlantean priestess, but I don't have any basis for that. That's just what came through. I don't see her face, She's got a lot of color. It's not 3D, but it looks like if someone had a huge costume on, and it was very elaborate, like something for Mardi Gras, because there's lots of glitter and gold and things coming out. But it was the rainbow crystal that came down over her forehead and pointed right to the top of her brow that caught my attention. So you might bring that in this space. And finally, we give great thanks for being in this sacred space and co-creating this and bringing these frequencies onto the planet in an accessible way. So we offer this right now to be broadcast down through Gaia, through the crystal kingdom, through all of the animals and plants, through all the elements and the celestials. And so it is. Welcome, my dear. Hang on, I can't hear you.
That was so powerful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much more has been anchored in through this. I understand now. They always give me bits and pieces of information. They never give me the whole story, like, ever. Because it keeps me open to receive. I think if I thought I knew everything, I'd just kind of take my head and go away with it, and do what I think be received instead of just allowing what is. I've certainly learned through the years of doing this work that the more I just come in with an open heart, the more is facilitated through me. I just allow to be the conduit to receive what is meant to be received. And I just felt so much more come in with this. They've been channeling with me since last night. And we spoke, of course, last week, and they gave us a ton of information of what they'd like of us in a little bit more time from now. So powerful, I know. So they were giving me a lot of messages, but this morning, they're like, people have a hard time understanding how you connect with dolphins. Like, it doesn't, for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I know. And a lot of people are like, what is that? How is that even possible? And they said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because there are some that do understand. And you're speaking to those that are here because they have the awareness. But they go, to put it in layman's terms, you are a being of light, and your light moves through different ascensions. And depending on what ascension you line up with, the beings of light from that same vibrational alignment can connect with you. And so this is how you connect with the intergalactic, the Pleiades, the Sirians, those that have crossed over. Wherever you go vibrationally, you signal out, and that is returned to you. And this is how the dolphins started connecting with me. I was in a vibrational alignment, which I connected with after doing a podcast with you. And after that podcast, the very next day, when I'm doing my connection for my clients, we just talked about Shadzia, the beautiful matriarch dolphin showed up and presented 2 golden dolphins to me. And I didn't even know that gold dolphins existed. And she's like, they're going to be working with you. And then she brought in 6 others, and they were placing these golden rings on top of me to act as a vibrational frequency support to hold the vibration so they can use me as a current to facilitate. And then they had me start doing my lift and shift activations, where they would scan the whole body and clear any energies or blockages. And this is how it started. The day before, I didn't know I could do this. So this is the story of my life. It happens, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. But it's about being in that vibration. So the best way I could explain it to someone who doesn't understand, like, how you connect with dolphins, every mother will understand this. Once you are a mother and you have a child, that child could live across the world. And if something happens to them that is quite impactful, you will feel it. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. And that's your connection of your love to the love of your child. So now just see this as being in alignment with your light and your heart center, moving it up different vibrations. And depending on where I'm vibrating at, then that opens the door to the receptivity. So we are all light beings, and everything is energy. So all you need to do is line up to the energy you'd like to be connecting with. And if you have that vibrational capacity, you can connect to anything, just the way a mother connects to the child who's connected through love. And when we do this kind of work, it is through the heart center. So that's the best way I could explain it.
Well, and what I like about that too is that it is two different aspects. There's both holding the focus and the frequency of clearly as possible what you want to connect to, being a clear and open channel so it can come through you and you don't start trying to figure it out, right? And that just goes back to doing your daily spiritual work, your daily energy work, cleansing and clearing, learning how to rise out of certain states, continuously cleaning your intuitive network, I call it. So you get clearer and clearer messages. You know, in the beginning, I never saw visions. Now it's just like a movie.
I know.
or maybe being in a you know, in the experience, you know, virtual experience, because it's more like, ooh, you know, but it changes and shifts. So yeah, doing that. I know it's so funny to think, you know, that was 2020 when we did that first podcast that you came on, and the dolphins came in, and the dolphin that she's talking about, this is Shadia, beautiful Shadia here. And yes, she is the elder, the matriarch, the wise woman, wherever she is. And I was super blessed to work with her a lot. I'm hoping we will again this year. However, it's so interesting how they start speaking to people, right? You know, and if you are seeing them, I wish I could show you the pictures. But this morning, one of my intuition awakening classes, the wealth and worthiness, money making intuition people, this lady sent these unbelievable photos. She was walking along the beach and the dolphins started, that's from the door. Look at them through that. Okay. But these aren't hers. So I didn't want to like officially put them up here. However, you know, she's never seen that before. And they came that close and that clear. And I haven't seen the dolphins out here. I know they're here. People tell me they're here. If there's a boat going by, we'll see one. But they came and just boop, 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 started walking with us a few weeks ago. So, well, go and tell us a little bit more about what's coming through now.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what they were telling me. So when I was doing my alignment this morning, my own team called the management, they always catch me in the morning in the bathroom. The bathroom seems to be a portal for these guys. And it's always when I'm getting out of the shower and just doing, you know, my mundane getting ready, that they're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, hold on. They're telling me all these things. And I'm like, I just want to take notes. And I said, okay. And this was actually, I'm going really high up there. This was a note from the Pleiades, actually. Okay. And they were referring to today to the dolphins. And they said, so you will be connecting with dolphin energy, but it's for you to understand it doesn't just come from the mammal. It comes from different planets as well. And these are beings of light that have come from different galaxies, different planets. And a lot of them came in and were birthed into the dolphin community. But to know that they are beings of light, you are connecting with beings of light. And I knew this, but it was a reminder. And they said to me, it was a very, very clear message. They said, what you are being asked of today, for those who will be coming on the call or drawn to the call or the replay, whatever that is, they said there will be specific people who will feel like, oh, I need to listen to this. They say this is going to be an opening. This will be an opening the heart chakra to the crystalline ascension path of divine light energy. And then they go, this is what they said. It was very sweet. And it came in with such calm. They said, disregard all judgment and scrutiny and see everyone as love. It is the only way we as human collective can heal. You are love. Your heart is a portal to all loving beings of light from every timeline and dimension of Christ conscious awareness. And you are being divinely guided. Those who are meant to understand will. And for those that don't, love them anyways. All we ask of you is to live in the fullness of all of your light. And this is what they're meaning to the collective. And continue to carry your torchlight. And then they put in parentheses your heart and ignite the light of others. May it be so. So as they were saying this to me, they were just saying, just be okay with where you are, be okay with what you know, and allow what is meant to be received to flow through you. Don't worry about comments or scrutiny. We're governing the people that are meant to receive to receive. And then they said, we're going to be working through the highest ascension of the angelic realm. And they said they're going to be dropping light codes, not light codes. Well, okay, maybe it is light codes, light cords. And they go, everyone who presents themselves on the call will get a cord activation in their heart. And the dolphins are bringing in the sonic frequencies. Okay. And this is what they wrote. They said, they are calling in sonic refinement of your vibrational frequencies. We are here to deepen and strengthen the wisdom from within, raising your crystalline diamond light energy to receive more in frequency and attunement, reclaiming greater depth within yourself. So this is what their intention is with me being here, to just allow for the facilitation of those who step forward to listen now or in the future. They're going to be dropping these light cords, angelic light cords, that will ignite the crystalline diamond light energy within your heart chakra. And for whatever is meant to be ignited, be received to the strengthening and the depth of your soul's wisdom. So I feel like what they're doing is aligning with the dolphins to raise the vibrational frequencies that we can move through these ascension patterns with more flow, more ease. But they're saying it's very interesting. The ones that come forward will be pure of heart because they're non-discriminatory.
That's the 5D consciousness. Like there's a lot of talk about 5D, but I'm not sure how much people are talking about. 5D is non-judgment. There is no judgment. So you can't carry judgment and pretend you're in 5D. Okay. Right. They don't go together. So just exactly what you said. And it's been coming through very strong in my Akashic light readers. They do intuitive healing work. And when they go through the certification, it's their personal journey, not just learning how to do this, but their personal transformation is learning to go to 5D crystalline consciousness so that they can be, to me, I visualize it like going here. Here's your life, right? Blue, 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 blue. And you go up here and you're looking down and you have that higher perspective and you're not judging good or bad. You're just like, oh, there's that. Oh, that happened. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Now I get it. And then in 6D is where the construction of things happen. But the 5D consciousness is what they're doing. And they've been infusing the waters with it, and the crystals with it, and of course those ones that the Lemurians and the Mu and the Atlanteans and even the ancient Greek, they all worked with these enormous crystals and with the dolphins, and they put them to sleep, basically turned them off with a little timer to wake up now. Well, for a few years now, but yeah, so they're all.
That's it. And this was the energy I was feeling when I was coming on for the call. It was like, I was like a turbine. I was like, I feel like I'm in a turbine of like,
yeah, that's right. You said a rocket or a missile or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what's been happening. Yeah, that acceleration as this information comes in. And it's interesting about the Pleiades. I mean, that's my primary starseed planet. It's my mission starseed. I'm not. Right. Some people, it's like, it might be different sessions. You might go visit your first planet that you ever manifested a body on, that like your birth starseed planet. Of course, you're an Earth starseed. And then you might go study at different places, or you might have different mentors in different places and stuff. So, but the Pleiades, of course, is super, super important for us because they're also working on raising that frequency so we can find that way. But this is like working with, you said also about them being beings of light. Yeah, and it's been fascinating because all of that's been amplified throughout this series and another series I was on with scientists and other stuff, is this, they're affecting your DNA. They're what came up when we were talking, sonar messaging or something like that. Sonar messaging. Well, I'm being with the dolphins, I can see the energy, not everything or not the way some people see it, but I can see what they're sending, and it varies. It could be rings, it could be strong, it could be like a machine gun, it could be drawing, or they ping back and forth, or they do all these things because they can see your frequencies. They can, of course, tell if you have like a something surgery in your heart or something, but they also see that alignment. And what we're talking about is they're multidimensional, even the ones in 3D, but we're connecting to all these layers. I mean, I started hearing collective, and then this animal communicator come on, and she goes, well, I always talk to the collective of the animal kingdom. And I'm like, bingo, there you go. So you might have the Pleiades, Sirius, Delphinus constellation, who knows where else, because they're pretty prolific.
They're from everywhere. I feel like they're more galactic than earthbound. I feel like they became earthbound to just hold a frequency for humanity. Exactly. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
And they're conduits of wisdom, so they share just through their vibration, through the movement. I feel like they're, how do you say it? Like, it makes me feel like in the ocean, they're like the guardians of the information. They swim around and they play and they have fun. Their frequency is a reminder of how we would be in much higher vibration if we emulated their way of life.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the higher frequency you carry doesn't mean that you just go to joy and bliss and you stay there all the time. They even go up and down. They're going to have pain, or they're going to have some grief, but they're always aware, because they're never asleep. They have two giant brains and they only put one to sleep at a time. And so they're shifting frequencies all the time, just by being in the water with you. And now we're having this connection through the galactic, through the ethers, through building more of a tangible thing. The more people talk about it, the more people have these experiences, the more that they're very present. So the idea of talking to a dolphin, one of the things that's missing right now as we're waking up is these messages are coming through. And then you have people, like you said, who are saying, how do you know? How can you trust it? How do I know I didn't make it up, or whatever? You need to consciously be developing, right, these skills so that you're getting clearer and clearer. But the information coming in is that your soul, it always seems like they have something about your soul purpose, right? So it's a higher thing. But then they come in form and they play, and have sex 60% of the time. So they're just like, they're like being around the most enlightened. Yeah, right? Like, it's like being with the Dalai Lama, who's at this high frequency, raises you up there the whole time you're with them. And then, you come on like a retreat, and that 5 days of this being around it and doing the activations we do and all this is just like, and the longer you stay that high and happy, the easier and the longer you have to shift out of whatever's holding you back, right? All the heavy energy. So they just are like, just play, just do that. They came through in one where we were swimming with them, and at one point they like, boo, jumped out of the water. And I was like, oh, out of the water. And then I was like, why does it feel so effortless? And I found myself, I was channeling, and I realized I was saying, whoo, we fly up. And then I was saying down, down. And I was seeing us go down, and I backed up my viewpoint, and they had just turned the whole thing upside down. And now the water was up here, and they just came out, and we're doing that. And they were like, when they go underwater, they come above water. I mean, they do have to have air, but they're like,
they're non-dimensional though. So that they're shapeshifters. They really are. And so they move in and out of realms, vibrations, alignments, like just with like that,
Yeah. So do you have other things you want to share? Does anybody have a question for Donna Marie?
I do at the end, I want to do an activation. Okay. So give me they go about 15 minutes. They want to do an activation for everybody to allow for these light cords to come down and activate with the heart. So they're just letting me know, they go, since you started, as soon as you opened up, all the energy started to come through. So they knew of this happening. They've been doing your series as you've been doing this. They're bringing in another layer of information. They're also saying that this is really important to understand. It's not how many, it's who. They go, you need to hear this. It's not how many, it's who. They keep repeating this to me all the time. It's not how many people you reach, it's who you reach. It's who you reach. One heart in truth and purity and light is a huge activator for many, many, many others. So it's not how many, it's who. They're always saying this to me. They go, do not get caught up in the numbers. And it's so true, because it only needs one in conscious awareness. One person, only takes one person to raise everyone else up just by being in the vicinity of their vibration. So they're saying, be mindful always when you're working into higher realms of dimensional wisdom and clarity. There will be less people to make that ascension alignment, but it doesn't matter how many, it's who makes it.
Wow, that's beautiful, because I've been doing this 36 years or something, and it was like walking around in the dark finding a book at the library kind of, and now it's massive overload of information, and can you trust it? I had 3 or 4 clients get this social media scam where somebody said, oh, I was drawn to your energy, but I have to tell you, you have evil entities attached to you. You should hire me to get rid of them. I'm like, seriously? Boy, people have sunk to a new low of using that spiritual language. So it's just more encouragement to get your own frequency in a place where
the whole intention that, look at the world at large. There's so much falsification of information that people are so confused. They surrender, like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like, no. You need to go in and gather your own wisdom, reclaim your wisdom, because that wisdom is going to govern what is unfolding. And then you're going to have a knowing that's yours. Exactly. Not that's learned, but that is known. And that's how you're going to make ascension. That it's through your vibration. So it's very hard when you see all this you got to shift to the left, go into the center, sit quietly until your nudgings of your spirit start to show up. So when they're doing these kinds of activations, especially with the heart chakra, your heart chakra is your portal to all of light beings and the intergalactic. While you are here on earth, it's your signal, right? And so they're activating these signals for the refinement and to be reignited, so that through the wisdom that is yours, you reconnect and align, and then you're going to be doing and receiving what is meant for you through you. So again, it's showing the importance of every individual and the clarity of their sovereignty and how it's in service to all of mankind when they are in service to themselves, is know thyself first.
Absolutely. We've been so convinced that that's selfish in some way, and exhausted through the slavery of the agreement and the conditioning to do everything for everybody else first, and to feel obligated and guilty if we're happy, or we do take care of ourselves, or if we're successful, and it gets reinforced. So we're breaking free of that. And like you said, if you're here, you're either waking up very quickly and want to know what's going on, or the dolphins called you here. They did. But also in my reality, I'm only interested in connecting to those who are optimal at this time. Because chasing numbers and goals and all this craziness of, I need this many people to be good enough, or I need that much money to be good enough, or my business has to be this big for me to be good enough. There's nothing wrong with goals like that. Okay. It's just that when you tie your self-worth to it, and you tie your happiness to it, and you tie it to be proof of your, spiritual evolution, right? You're judging.
Yeah, right? But we're moving out of that, and we're going into the higher consciousness where it won't be like that anymore. So this whole shifting of the way it's done, the work is showcased on social media, and how, you're projecting yourself and your work and your energy, everything is shifting as well. So we're kind of in between the two, but it's just to hold true to who you are and what you are, period.
Yeah. And learn to trust your own inner voice and listen to it, give it ways to speak to you, and call on the dolphins, because they're here. So the other day we did a show, and the Lemurians and the golden dolphins, they're like this. They showed, it's over there. That shimmery stuff. I think it's called a hologram.
Yes.
Where you just barely move, and it's like more little dimensions and portals. And so their skin was like that. Yeah, it wasn't like the solid gold. It was this shimmer.
Yeah, like a translucent, almost like a halo that floats around them.
Yeah, and then when you would look, it would be like a fractal where it would just open, like a whole, and it was this whole thing about how they embody who they are, which is portals to everything.
Light,
and we wear that,
yeah,
right?
it's diamond light energy. And this is what, when they came
That's a good
to
word.
me, when Shad it was Shadia who showed up, and then she brought these two and she put them on either side of me like this. And I was like, gold dolphins. I didn't know they existed. And she goes, oh yeah. It was like, I'm like, okay. And she just said to me, it's more their vibration that you're seeing. It's not really a color. You're seeing the vibration of their diamond light energy, crystalline energy. So they're so crystalline. It feels like mercurical, you don't really, I didn't see a defined line. It was more like this, like you say, holographic energy, because it was movement. They weren't just there, they were floating, but and I was like,
Yeah.
seeing it for the first time, I was kind of like, wow, what do they do? She's, oh, you'll see. And they showed me what they did.
Yeah. And then these mermaids came through that had the same thing. And it was like, I wasn't even looking for the mermaids. I love mermaids, but it was like, wow. And I'm like, why, who, what? And they're just, all this information was coming through. It's on one of the other shows here. And then I just kept seeing this mermaid tail kind of thing going like this in my peripheral vision. And I was like, I'm focused on the dolphins, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And it was the same gold thing, where it moved and it had that holographic thing, like it's a portal.
Yes.
And it's also saying, when you realize it, like kind of like the flamingo said, when you realize that you have everything you need, then you carry it with you. And you don't have to have a lot of stuff, and you don't need to worry about what's next, because you have everything with you, which is true already, but you maybe haven't realized that, right?
Yeah.
So okay, well, I want to let you go into, but first I was called to share. So that same day at the end, we picked some of these Beyond Lemuria cards by Izzy Ivy. Excellent, amazing cards. And I have them sitting here, the ones that came through. And then based on what you just said, they asked me to show you this.
Look at that. That's it right there. You see? And it's funny because the woman that you said who showed up, who's walking with the pyramid, the Atlantean starlight, she looked like that. And they said to me it was Isis.
There it is. Yeah,
and
look at that.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's not going higher and more rainbow, but this was, I had to just, these cards are so gorgeous. I have to stare at them because look, there's eyes floating around. There's eyes in the crystals coming out of the heart.
Oh yeah, all seeing.
And then there's the, serpent energy for transformation or Kundalini, and just like these have incredible depth, but then she's pointing, it's home. She's pointing at her heart.
This is it. And this has been the mission the whole time. And then the higher heart, the I love that. It's through the work that they're asking of me is to reconnect everyone to bring them back to their harbor, bring them back to their wisdom, reignite them, and then they set them off, and then let them go do what their soul's essence is here to do through their, incarnation. But they're not, this whole transformational time is to reignite and reawaken those that are here in this timeline to be facilitators with the gifts that they own, and allow those gifts to be reactivated through these crystalline portals, doors, openings that are taking place. And there's been so much more like recurring so much faster. And it's because every time someone goes through it, there's an upgrade, and you go through another one, there's an upgrade. The refinement is taking space at like light speed. Like we never could have done this 20 years ago. No. It would so much time to get into that elevation. No. Step into it. It's like boom, 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 boom. I'm watching people ascend like so fast. It took me forever to ascend, like a long time.
I know it tends to take forever for anything to, like I said, for visions to start, or for me to start believing that reincarnation or eternal life or past lives was real or whatever like that. And people are just boom.
The densities were too heavy. We couldn't move through. We couldn't even support the light vibration to anchor to it in a light.
Well, because the structure wasn't there. The 9-step Mayan pyramid is based on waves of consciousness. And we're now at the top. It's the smallest. That's the shortest amount of time. This is bazillions of years. Humans didn't even appear till around 4 or 5 right in here. And then in our lifetime, I think we've ascended 3 of these layers because time's going so fast.
Oh my God, it's going so fast. And it's continuing to, it's speeding up. But when we spoke last week, and they were showing me, they're giving me a visual of you standing on the top of the pyramid, and
Yes.
we're going to conduit so that when you go to your
Tomorrow.
yeah, you're going
I'm
to
going
be
tomorrow.
sharing the energy with the dolphins, and they're saying dolphins also need the support. So I was like, oh, we're supporting them too. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me of that. Yeah, because I'm going on this little mini trip tomorrow. I'm leaving at 5 a.m. and
Oh my God, you need to,
coming back Friday.
Yeah.
So Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be hitting several different pyramid sites, and like you were saying, the vision you received was activating the retreats, but the planet and everything is happening through the pyramids as a conduit and down through the earth into the waters to support the dolphins.
And they're calling it sacred waters. This is sacred information that's being reactivated. There's a sacred energy in the water that is dormant, and it's being reactivated as well. Yeah. It's all the whole renewal with the renewal, it's just so funny, like what is being imposed in renewal, and they're laughing like the earth's taking care of itself for thousands of years, and somebody suddenly thinks, oh, we're going to do it this way. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I will step out now that we've had that fun and let you go.
Okay. So I'm going to just go in. I'm going to ask everybody. So everyone, you did a really nice lifting and clearing before we started. So I feel like everyone who is here is present. They just want to do through the breath. It's always the way to come in and align to the activation of what you're meant to receive. So I always do an opening prayer. This is just so that everyone knows that they're showing up in the sovereignty of their own soul's free will. Nothing is being imposed upon them. Nothing is being imprinted into them. This is your higher self choosing to be here, choosing to receive in the capacity of which your physical body is able to, and your mental, spiritual, and body is allowing. So there's no coercion here. Everyone will receive exactly to the degree in which you are capable, so that it's in service to you. So I always do an opening prayer just so that you give them permission to come forward and be in alignment to the divinity that is you, and allow that which is meant to be ignited and integrated for your highest and purest divine truth to be done so through your own soul's intention. So if you want to just close your eyes, always raise the palms upwards, just giving ourselves permission to be seen and to receive. And you're just going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And you're just going to breathe out through the mouth. And if you can have your 2 feet on the ground, that would be great. Spine straight, neck straight. So there's a nice conduit coming right through your central column, through your spirit. And we're going to allow the breath to soften the physical body. So the softer the physical body is, the easier it is to take in vibrational energy, and the easier it is to expel carbon density. So they're going to do through the breath work, giving you permission to create your own expansion within your physical form. The more expansion we make, the more energy we can hold. The more energy we hold, the more we move up vibrationally. So whatever you're here to vibrationally align and connect with, so long it is for your highest good. Father, Mother, God is meant and appropriate. We call upon each and every individual's own team of healing masters, guardian angels, designated light workers. And we embrace and allow all the beautiful light beings that are here, representational and represented through the dolphin energy, crystalline energy, and the energy of the divine light beings of the intergalactic and beyond, the angelic realm, and all those who are facilitating from all other light beings, light planets that are here in service to humanity as a collective and as an individual, allowing what is meant to be received through your own free will, and allowing also the activation of the violet flame. So anything that may be holding you back, stopping or blocking you from receiving with this breath, it is simply blessing it, clearing it, transmuting it, releasing it, and it is safe now to let go. So just take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. This is allowing any resistance of the mind, of the body, any struggling, and just allowing what is meant to be received for your highest good. And always within the parameters of what you are capable of receiving. Beautiful. So they're just asking you to sit quietly and rest peacefully, and they're bringing me right up. So here we go. They're dropping. There's this beautiful. It's like when you pierce through the blue sky and you go into the universe, and so it's a deep, 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 but it's like a magenta. Yes, a magenta blue color, and there's stars everywhere. And they're saying these are the angels of divine light energy, the angelic realm, and they're dropping these light codes directly down. So look at it as like just a light wire that is coming down. And as you stand there, you are literally giving your heart permission to receive this light wire, and it's connecting directly into the heart chakra. And this is being done through divine light, divine love, divine clarity, divine wisdom that is yours. So they're telling me that this is something that has been intended for you, that you knew that you would be here, be it today, be it on the replay, or whenever you do fall upon this call. Your heart is here to receive, ignite, and align and connect to the crystalline diamond light energy that is going to allow for the sonic frequencies, the readjustments, and the refinements of what can open you up to ignite and align to the greater depth from within, returning and anchoring to your divine light wisdom, your divine light wisdom, your divine light wisdom, and aligning and connecting to the gifts that are here to be in service to you, the abundance and abundant return, and to the abundance of humanity. So all that you are, the gift that you are, the light that you are, they're asking you to see this beautiful golden light. It's rose gold light. And it's literally coming right down from the star. And it looks like when candles are on a birthday cake and all the lights are out. It's very glowy. And you're just feeling a warmth. And it's funny because as they're feeling the warmth in the heart, I'm seeing almost like as if icing on a cake or melting, and it's turning crystalline. And there's this beautiful, really beautiful light energy that is activating within the walls of your heart, and then it's moving in like into the membrane, like being absorbed. And there's an activation and integration of being ignited in your light energy, your light capacity, your starlight energy. They're saying that this is an activation of the heart, and the heart is a portal of your divine light. This is where you are seen through the realms and dimensions of time and timelines through the heart. And they're allowing the frequency, they're moving in a clockwise energy. They're taking this blue circular pattern. And actually, it feels like saline water. It's an aqua blue. Yeah, it is. They're saying it's the ocean. So at the hands of time. So the ocean is moving forward. So it's allowing for, oh, there we go. I see. Sorry. They're saying, well, we need to use the water to call in the dolphin energy. So the dolphins are going to feel the vibration through your heart. And so they're moving the water. It's moving up. It's picking up a little faster. You might even feel like your heart is quickening its speed, but they're going, it's fine. They're working within the alignment of your heart. So not to worry. It just might feel like your heart is moving a little bit faster, beating a little bit faster, and they're picking up speed again. So this is the, this is the turbine they were talking about. So they're creating a sonic turbine energy, and it's this energy that is going to be moving out through your heart chakra. It's connected to the divine healing angelic masters, and it's also going now straight through the heart, straight through, and it's like sonic, like beams of silver circles going boom, 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 and then they disappear. And ironically, they're going out into the universe, but it's as they go into the dark sky that it's being heard in the depths of the waters. Okay, so they're saying that the beating of your heart, the sound of your heart, the vibration of your heart is realigning to this divine golden crystalline energy. There's a new activation, and it's connecting first into the universe, and then it's going down, and I see it like stars dropping from the sky. This is how they're showing it to me, and dropping into the water. And then as they hit the water, the dolphins are like going and rescuing the stars, but it's your starlight energy. It's an activation of your heart that's being received. And they're working as they receive it, like I'm seeing herds, tons of them come. They're keeping this ring of light on their nose, just on the nose, and just holding it, it amplifies. It just, them being who they are is amplifying the light. And it's again going all the way up and reconnecting into your heart center. There is a sonar frequency that your heart is aligned to, and they're just making the adjustments. This is going to be very, very different for each of you, they're saying. Some of you may move into a very high ascension just by receiving these adjustments, and others are going to feel very sleepy, like it's going to knock you out. Depends on how much light energy you hold within your physical body, and this is going to allow for the expansion. They want you to breathe the energy back out of the heart because they're actually sending it out to the universe. So you being who you are, aligning to what is yours and connecting to the divinity of your wisdom, is you're now being a conduit of love for all. Wow, this is beautiful. So just holding space. They're asking you to hold space for the love of humanity and to just breathe out with pure love, with pure intent, with pure kindness. Just breathe out. This is what the world is in need of. It's igniting the light and the heart center of others. And it's the dolphins' energy, the sonic waves, that they can take this out so much further than you're capable of doing right now, wherever it is that you're landed on your own ascension processing. This is they're taking it way out. So this is going above and beyond the earth. This is going out into the universe. It's moving out into, they're showing going back and forward. So different timelines. And it's making adjustments, actually. Frequency adjustments, frequency realignments. And they're bringing down this crystalline, they're dropping them down like little skewers. It's another kind of frequency that they're using to, it's working on your whole central column. So they're bringing it all the way back into you. So it went out, came back down, and now they're bringing it right through your central column. They're doing an adjustment to the whole chakra, all of the chakras. It is very golden, high speed. And this is Palladia. This is the Palladians coming through right now. This is like a solar sonic laser kind of a light, high frequency, high dimensional. And it has a lot of codes, And so they're saying it's a kind of like being impregnated with a vibrational frequency that is going to activate certain DNA that has been dormant, but meant to be reactivated. They're asking to take a nice gentle breath in. And they're bringing this golden loop through the heart. And this is the loop of eternity of all time. Reclaiming, reigniting, and realigning to the wisdom of the ages, the wisdom of your soul, the wisdom of your truth. That you stand deeper within it, that you understand the clarity of the song of your heart, and that you have the ears to hear the music that is yours, and that you share the music that is yours with the ears who are capable of hearing it. That you stand strong within yourself and you hold true to the light that is you. You are a beacon of hope. And I'm feeling the dolphins, they're just all lined up like soldiers. And all they're doing is sending the frequency up further. through intention. There's a lot of soul families that are coming together, and they're showing me the flamingos. The flamingos represent the elders of the family bloodlines that you have ascended from many, many, many timelines, lifetimes ago, where you had a soul commitment to come back and be the light and the torch for all of humanity through the heart chakra, the heart center, and the love. Well, they're calling it the love of life. And they're showing it to me as a huge tree, eternal. And they're bringing the roots of this tree all the way down through the water, underground, into the roots, and they're coming back up, and they're going all the way back up into the sky and all the way back down again. And they're showing it as a birth and then rebirth, birth and then rebirth, birth and then rebirth. They're doing 12 cycles, like 12 months of the year. Yeah. And so you're being rerouted with these families, with these light beings, and with the wisdom that is innately yours, that which you hold, that which you have gathered, and that which is imprinted and intended to be reignited for this soul's journey. There is no efforting, there is nothing to do. Align to all of your light, maintain all of your light, stay ignited, and you are living in your soul's divine essence and purpose. You are here as a light torch, and your light is here simply in design to ignite others. One light, and one light's light is not dimmed by igniting. And there are many that need igniting. We are facilitating, we are extending, and we are supporting the journey we have chosen. May the light that is you rise. May the light that is you be seen. And may the light that is you be expressed in all of its fullness. And they're moving it way out. And they're cultivating the energy back into your central column. It's coming in through your solar plexus, going up through the heart, going out through the third eye. They're doing a circle. So many of you may receive an activation of your third eye, your clairvoyance, for greater understanding and connectivity. Once you have connected once, you are always connected, and we are always, always, always here for you. Always. As you breathe, we are there. Wow. They're doing this like a key on the throat, either unlocking, but they're also storing. And it's when it's time, it will come out. So in perfect timing, in perfect timing, in perfect timing. There's no efforting, no efforting, no efforting. You're activating the violet flame to keep you protected and to allow for the transmutation of energies that need to be lifted and cleared. And they're extending this light like north, south, east, west, but to infinity and beyond. Like it just keeps going, 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 going. No corner uncovered is what they're saying. No corner uncovered. It's really funny because all the not pelicans, I want to keep saying pelicans, but all these flamingos are just watching, like their heads are going. They're bringing all the energy back in. It's like a great big portal that's and then all the golden energy comes in, all the water comes back in, and then it's like a vaulted, it's sealed. Done, done, done. And they're moving it all down to where it needs to go. And the dolphins are taking this energy, they're taking this vibration, and they're all leaving with it. They will go and disperse with it where it's meant to be received. They're given their own plan through all of this. So they were here to receive as well. And they're going to go and take that energy and extend it outward as well. It's going down through, it's going to facilitate a lot of cleaning up in the ocean is what they're saying to me, and a reactivation of dormant in the well. So like new corals are going to be growing, new fish are going to be born again. There's going to be a lot of new regrowth in the ocean starting now.
Excellent.
They're putting in these layers of protection. It's like as if you had a farmer that was putting like manure and peat moss over what they've sown, but it's coral that they're using in different vibrations to be ignited when it's time. And you're seeing stuff come up when it's time and ready. So thank you, 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 thank you. And everyone's solar plexus is really, really lit. This is your starlight energy in full activation, reminding you of who you are, and thanking you for being here as the starlight energy to be in service and support to all of us. We are facilitating through you, and we thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
Well, beforehand, somebody said, Justine said, could we help release stress and tension and soothe? I didn't say it because I knew it was going to happen. I feel very soothed. I feel like, oh yeah, I just want to go lay in the sun and
I'm gonna lay now.
right.
Yeah, I know. No, it was a lot. They did a lot. They moved a lot. Oof.
Yeah. An angel had said we have within all that we need, and we should have no attachments. And I think that those came together in this. That's part of being with beings of higher frequency or more experience or wisdom, is you get that release, right? You have assistance.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Well, when they come in, they work within the confines of what you are able to hold, so that it's not, it's like you fill up a glass and you keep pouring the water and the glass is full, you're going to lose all that water. So they'll just fill you up to what you can receive, right? And you'll receive exactly what you can receive for now. And if you come back and listen to it in a month, maybe your expansion is greater, you hold more light energy, your vibration is higher, and then you'll receive to the degree of which I always make sure it's always in alignment, so that you actually do receive from it and it's not overwhelming for you. But often when they do these activations, people feel sleepy after, because you're almost go into this kind of like hypnotic state to allow the body to receive, right? And it's always different every time they do it. I never know what they're going to do until they start doing it. But they're always reminding us that, they count on humanity to facilitate this information and facilitate this energy and facilitate this expansion of what we're going through as a collective. So they need our support as much as we need their connections. It's really hand in hand. They're always saying that, like they're always saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the beauty of working with beings like this, is you're having a frequency shift, which can bypass a lot of drama and pain, and the idea that you have to know everything or figure it all out. You don't have to. They move too fast. It's like, come on, let's just transcend and then go play. So yeah, whatever comes up for you for any kind of process like this, come back, listen to it again. It'll shift and change or reinforce. And sometimes if you listen and take notes, you'll hear things you didn't hear.
Oh my God, that is so true. I have a friend of mine, and she's called the Spiritual Gongster, Charlotte Bamp. She's amazing. And she came on because we do this monthly call, a bunch of light workers, and we do this monthly call, and she was doing the spiritual gong on Facebook. She said, well, come on to my Facebook call, and then we'll go on to our call. So I was listening to it, and I got such a beautiful vibrational return from it. The next morning I listened to it with headphones, and I was like, I looked at I could hear angels singing, and I was like, wait a second. So I picked up my phone because I thought like the YouTube had switched and there was something else on, and I'm like, well, who's singing now? And I put my phone down, like, Wow, I never heard that yesterday. So it's just amazing, depending on what your alignment is, what you receive. That's why, I always tell people when they work with me, you can come back and listen to this again and again and again. And because
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
always changing and always shifting, it will always be new for you each time you listen.
Yeah.
It will sound,
100%. Yeah.
but you're going to receive differently.
Yeah. And then it's cumulative, but it's not like it could be step by step. At first, maybe you re-experience something, but then it's all of a sudden there's a leap,
Yeah.
and I used to make a lot of remedies for people in the different healing work I did. And then when I started doing it all virtually, it was like, okay, we called in the sphere of light that's infused with whatever the energies are that's optimal. And it'll say, okay, this is going to stay with you for 7 days or something. And then repeat this for 5 days or 7 days. One lady had like a month. And I was quite shocked. A month later, she said, I listened to it every day for a month. I'm a completely different person. Thank God I keep a journal.
Mm.
So yeah, whatever you receive, there's so much depth in it that we don't have to keep running to something else. What else has the answer? That desperation. You can just soak in this, right? Soak in everything. I'm going to re-listen to it. I've been listening to all of the Dolphin, like my own Dolphin.
Oh no, I've been listening to your recordings. So good, the people you have on. Like, I love how each person is so refined in what it is that they do. When you asked me to come, I was like, well, I said they kind of like the way they showed up for me was that they would do scans on people's bodies. And I remember the first time they came through, they were showing me like, look what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on either side of this person. And they put this gold bar, like a real gold bar right across the top of their head. And then the dolphins with their noses would drop the bar down and then they go, oh, hold it. And then I would see vibrationally what they're doing. And then I'd ask, I'm like, well, what are you doing right now? And they're like, oh, they've got rewiring of the brain and there's calciums there and then the pineal gland. So they're telling what they're doing. And then they come down and they go across the eyes and they're telling what they're doing. And I was like, oh my God. And it's all vibrationally done, all through sonar.
Yeah.
They come up, also they go, no, go back up. And the guys, I'm like, why are we going back up? Like, they're just right around the jaw here where the adrenal gland. Look, I'm watching them the first time do this, and I'm like, third party, because I'm holding his space, and I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the person receiving could feel everything, and I was like, wow. I'm like, this is what we're doing now. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. This is how we're doing the scans. Yep, that's how we're doing the scans. And it's like a barcode when you go to the grocery store, but they go through the body. And it literally, if you were a holograph, it's going directly through the body and it's just picking up the energy. And then the frequency goes out through the golden bar. And this golden bar is that golden crystalline energy. It's a neutralizer and a synthesizer and an activator and a frequency arranger. And I was like, it's like the divine tuning fork.
Yes, that's the best. That's a good name. That's a good name for it. Yeah. For the way that I see it is more like if you could see somebody's vision coming out, like a beam of light, coming out of somebody's eyes, like a light projector, kind of like a projector.
Yeah.
And then up and down, and I usually start from below and that too. But yeah, and this is what they're doing, but we can do it. Right?
Yeah.
And most of us have done something like that. Maybe not exactly. Maybe you'll feel it or receive it in a different way. And that's what we need everybody to receive in their own unique way. Right.
And everyone does. And that's the thing, like go do a call and you'll have 15 people on the call. And after I do the call and everyone's received the exact same activation, I'll ask each person if they want to share what they received. No one ever has the same story. No one ever gives the same, like, well, I saw this, I felt this came forward, I received this information, I got the next person done. So it's always, I love getting the feedback at the end because you really, really get to see how it is so designed for each individual, and you're going, well, there you go. Like you all received the same thing, but you each had a different vibrational impact from it. Yeah. And it works on the way that you're meant to receive. And it's beautiful. I think, it's like the more I see what is, the more I know there's so much more to know.
It's incredible. Instead of having that craving that we were all programmed with for life and 3D to be this way or to not suffer or whatever we want to have happen, people want to do that. The more I let go of that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm riding through life. This is happening, that's happening. Okay, but I can choose where I focus and what's my frequency. The more I'm in the present moment, it's so rich. There's like literally, it's oh, it's the only thing that exists. I had a hard time grasping a lot of those traditional sayings for that. But when I feel it, that sensation, that's so rich, it's so deep. Of course, the answer is here. A million different timelines exist. A wave of potential is there. I have a particular soul structure that accesses things. I get things in a certain way, or I hold a certain frequency. Like you said, somebody else holds their frequency. Exactly. And in doing this, I'm so glad that you do that too, because I rarely meet people who make sure to teach or to operate inside of a space that is aligned to what we say is optimal. What's optimal for your highest good at this time, period. End of story. And if you do that when you go into something, everybody. However, there's a lot of people out there that do willy-nilly healing and binging bonging people, and they don't create that space, and they don't clear themselves between clients, and they don't set their own space, and they're not doing this daily frequency shift. So this is beautiful, because now the dolphins are going to be working with you all the time, whether you're sleeping or not.
Well, this is it. The connection has been made. And this is always what they tell me at the end. Like I've stopped asking questions because they just left. They're always like, well, you'll see, or you'll feel it, or you'll know. And you're like, oh, that's it. Like no recap. Nope. They're like, we did our work. No, we're out. It's like, bye-bye. And in the beginning, I was like, I kind of want that like little, well, just tell me what happened. Like, tell me what this means. It wasn't, and they would leave me always with like crickets, nothing. And I would have to go, and they're like, you'll see, you'll know. It was really learning to trust in what was coming through, to trust in the development of it, to trust in how it was going to unfold. And the more I leaned into the allowance of it, the deeper they were able to move stuff through me. I just let go. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to let it happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But that's where you get to really surrender and allow what is meant to be received. And this is what I always tell my clients, like, well, what happened? I go, don't worry about that. Whatever you were meant to get.
What does it mean?
It's for your highest good. And so, but I find that when you go into that place and you're in such a sound place, so you can always ask questions there. But when I get there, I don't want to ask anything. I'm just like, I'm just good right now. I'm good.
I want to watch. I want to witness. I want to perceive. I want to see something even new that I haven't perceived before. I want to see what shifts. I want to be in reverence. Like I'm watching the most sacred thing.
Yeah. I want to be reciprocatory. So like I zip it,
Yeah. Well, and that's what's happening now, and it's coming out. So it's okay if you're in this space, but as you do, if you come into a session with Donna Marie or me or your own meditation, whatever, and you have this question, it's okay. Right. Mm-hmm. However, at some point you have to let go. Like you're like, okay, it's clear what I'm focused on. Right. And that's why you surrender into what's optimal or whatever you say. And then if you come right out of that gift, like today, going, well, but what do I do? What's the next step? You were, like you just said, you were just given it. Mm-hmm. If you don't consciously know, okay, go to the corner, turn right, buy this, do that, you've got to let it come in and sink in and settle in and unfold and come through you in whatever way. And you may never know consciously what it was. Yeah. But if you actually go, oh, thank you. I received it, whatever it is, I know it's optimal for me. And I'm going to just walk around as if I have received the greatest gift ever, whether I can see it or not.
Yeah. And it's funny because I had a conversation a little while ago with somebody and they were talking about receiving energy. And there was someone that I was referring this person to. And they asked me, they're like, well, does it work? And then I laughed and I go, well, first of all, I would never refer you to anyone who did anything that didn't work.
Go do that. It doesn't work. But just
why would I do that? I wouldn't. Because that weighs on who I am too, But I said, but here's the thing. This is what you need to know. And they're always saying, hand them back the power. hand them back their power. And I said, well, if you believe it can work for you, you're opening up the door to receive the energy and the vibration that is being sent towards you. But if you doubt that it can work for you, you close the vibrational door. And even if they're sending it with the greatest intent, you shut it off. You win. So you say, that's not going to work for me. You will be right. Even if they're doing the work for you, you're shutting out the vibration, and it's an immediate return. But if you say, well, I don't know if this is true, but if it can work for me, I'm going to allow it. Then you allow the vibrational door to be open, because it's all about a frequency, and you will receive it in the way that you're meant to. But when they go, well, that person did it, I go, well, did that person believe it could work? And it's not about believing that it does or it doesn't. It's just that what you believe will dictate what the outcome will be. So it's like, if you're not sure, that's fine. This is all new for you. Just keep the door of like, well, let's
say,
see.
I don't know, but I'm like, I'm ready to receive, like, I'm not the expert. So, okay, who's got an answer? Okay, good. I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because your energies that clog your ability to receive, trust, translate, and act on the constant information coming to us all over the place is completely based on those choices, right? In subconscious, past life, now, whatever, what you believe, what's this, what's that. So for me, I don't see it closed, but I did used to tell people that I worked with who wanted to make more money, we had to go into their perception of their self, their worth, their value, because they go, I worked really hard, I did everything everybody said, but then the money came and it all left, or I had to pay this, or I never have enough. Here's why. Because you have an inner program, and it looked like Teflon. Kind of like we were talking about, it looked like, come. And then when it got there, it just went non-stick, right? Out.
Yeah.
And then, but everybody's awakening so much that it's usually not so much shut off, although some people do, but it's like squeezing, restricting the flow, right? And it could be just this much is getting through versus this much or this much. So it's like,
exactly. But there's just so much seeding that is taking place right now, vibrational seeding that is taking place. And it's those that are here who chose to come in and receive and reignite and realign with their light, and then allow their light to be a beacon of light for others. This is really where we're at. And we are here doing they're doing it to us first so that we know how it's being done. We're receiving it so we can hold the vibration, then we can be the host for the others. And that's what we're doing, right? We're acting as conduits of these vibrational frequencies that we're able to facilitate because of the vibration that we have learned or been schooled into aligning with. But, it's to understand that this is a possibility and a capacity to every single person.
This is not happen. It's happening.
It's getting there.
It's just going to keep going super fast. It's messy. Yes, because some people are holding on, and the beliefs and the polarities and all of that.
Yeah.
But that's part of what we're talking about. It's unplugging from all the drama and the story. Yes, you're walking through, pay your bills, feed your kids, or whatever you need to do. However, that is a reality that's operating on a lot of stuff that you don't have to get involved in. Right? Yeah. All the news, all the drama, he said, she said, who cares? It gets in the way of you hearing this clearly, of
exactly.
This, frequency.
Well, it's intended to do exactly that, is to keep you very distracted and just and in a state of fear.
Static and fear.
Not knowing. There's such a confusion in the energy. Yes. Like, I don't know. And it's like, well, you better go in and find out, because you're not going to know,
It's like so interesting when people come and they say, well, my heart feels called. Okay. Like, my heart wants to come on the Dolphin retreat. And, right now I don't have a job, so it would be perfect. However, then one day I feel, all aligned. This is optimal for me. And then, right, I go talk to my mom or whatever. I go into a more negative environment or something triggers me. And then I go, well, I probably shouldn't now. I really should, pay my bills. And later when such and such happens, well, shit, if the pandemic didn't tell us anything, if your heart is truly calling you, not if you're having a craving from your ego, right? But if your heart is truly calling you, listen to it, because and the people around you aren't going to agree, most likely. And that's okay, because welcome to the path, the path of your spirit.
I know. And it's like, well, it's hard because we step into our old patterning and our old ways of going and asking opinions and listening to other people that we may respect the way they live. And then, okay, well, I like their opinion and their judgment, but it's going to be the opinion of how they would do it and how they've lived and how they've experienced. But that's absolutely nothing to do with you. So you're just asking 10 different people, 10 different opinions, still has nothing to do with you. So this is where we're being taught to go in and gather your own information. Like, well, I don't know how. And this is ground, connect, align every day, step back in, step back in and reclaim the wisdom that is it's sitting there. It's sitting there, right in there, waiting for you. So people are being redirected back again to return to their wisdom, their light, their gifts, and their clarities. And once they're in that space, they won't ask anybody anything, because then it's like, no, I just know. How do you know that? I know. How do you know that? I just know. It's that knowing that cannot even be questioned. You're like, no, I know. And it's that certitude that you will not get outside of yourself or from anybody else. It's only going to come from you.
Because nobody else can know. So when we put other people in charge of deciding what's right for us, like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Well, they know for themselves, but they don't know for you. And they can know for your best interest. But again, it's based on what they've experienced.
Or what they want.
Exactly.
What they want from you. I want you to behave, do this thing, don't do that thing, because I'm used to you being that way. And you're living someone else's life. And this is about freedom. Such incredible freedom. The freedom that you feel when you come any sacred space, if you've been to pyramids or vortexes or rivers or whatever, right? Any sacred space. So I live inside of a giant sacred space here. Mayan pyramids everywhere, and these sacred waters. You said that the underground waters by the ancient Maya were called cenote, which means sacred well. And they're this insanely pure water that holds all these codes. And then, there's the land and there's the ocean and then the dolphins. And you just keep combining when you get yourself out of your home frequency, out from the negativity, out from the fear, out from, there's a lot of people have had someone dear to them die recently, like a mother or a husband or something. And not until you're ready, but when you are, take yourself somewhere fresh, surround yourself in love, surround yourself in something that will raise that frequency. And
that's yes.
Yeah. And give you that love. So I want to thank you so much. I know.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, because every time they place me somewhere, I know it's for the greater good always. And whatever's meant to be received will be received. I never worry about that. But I always love, there are particular people that I have worked with on other podcasts where I just feel such a beautiful heart connection. And with you, we felt it the first time. There was very strong mermaid Atlantean energy where we're just like, okay, we belong in the water. We both know it. I should be wet all the time because I live better. But, I'm just going to say before you close, when you're talking about that sacred water in 2020, when I used to ground my central column and we used to go into Gaia, they go, you got to leave her alone. She's going through too much. So we're bringing you down further. And they brought me to another layer and then a second layer. We're going into the second ocean. I go, the second ocean? They go, yeah, it's black. And that's the sacred waters. They go, this is where you're going to go when you need to cleanse all of your energy. And it's also going to detox your vibration of entity attachments, demonic. And I was like, well, I'm going to sleep there every night. Let's go. But I didn't know that this existed. And when you had said this, I was like, oh, that's the place they're talking about. Me, I just listen and go. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And what's cool is that when I came in the 70s and around 80, when I was in college, there were no cenotes. Well, there were, because they were formed a long time ago, but nobody used them. Nobody went into them. It wasn't something that you did. And when I came 6 years ago, landed over there, didn't think I was going to live there. It was like, you have 300 miles or probably more of underground rivers that connect. And these caves, and some of them they've broken open, so they look more like a little lake. Some are deep, deep circular wells. Some are caves that go like to the back. Some are complete caves. There's one we go to that's literally like being in a womb. It's called Guadalupe Cenote. And it's just circular, small, intimate, has stalactites all around and an oculus in the middle with this light. And it's just ridiculous.
You're going to take me to the place when I come down in November.
Yeah. So we're going to cook up something so you guys can come and play with us. And I wanted to share that again before we leave, because of the crystal and the heart and pointing back into your own heart that you are home. When I went to Egypt for the first time with my first mystery school mentor, I arrived by myself late at night in the airport, and the man came to help me with my luggage, and he looked me in the eyes and he said, "Welcome home." And I'm
Wow.
still going to tear up because it was something that my heart had been calling me to forever. And the war, whatever war, started the day that I left, and my family was literally standing at the car begging me not to go. And I'm like, no, I gotta go.
Wow.
This is meant to be.
He
Then I got
confirmed
to,
it. He confirmed
yeah,
your choice.
yeah.
I
And
love
I
the way.
got to the hotel, and the next guy said that too. And so this is what the Dolphins have been saying now is, welcome home, coming back full circle, but above, like a spiral,
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like now they keep saying to me, like there's time lapses, but they're showing it, they're going all in perfect time. And they're just waiting for everything to line up to get that click. And you get that click, and then it goes on to the next thing, waiting for alignment, and then click. And it's the resurfacing of the wisdom that is meant to be, that went down, stayed dormant until it was safe to resurface again. And they're going, it's slowly coming back up, just like the way a scuba diver goes down. It has to come through different levels and stops and waits. They're going, this is exactly what's happening. This information will come in perfect timing when it can be received in its truth and its wisdom without being, falsely manipulated like it was the first time around. So it's interesting, like how everything, it's kind of like when you hear all of this, you're like, okay, so I'm just going to be happy. Like,
oh, I know. And then the revelations and the things that come to confirm the new information that you're being open to. And, the idea that you want to know it all, but that's not possible because, like Rumi said, you can't know all truth at once because the next one doesn't reveal itself until you understand the one that
the first one.
the one you're in right now. And that's really where we are. When you just come into anything with anyone to get what's optimal for you, don't compare yourself to anyone else, and keep going, oh, okay, I'm unfolding, I'm unpacking, and I'm reconnecting, and I'm re-acknowledging it. Well, thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. And thank everyone who's on the call and everyone who's going to be on the replay, whoever's meant to receive this. Just know that you are a part of we are all a part of the divine plan. We really are, so thank you for showing up and heeding the call and receiving whichever way, and may it bring back to you whatever you're meant to receive from it for your highest good. We're always gifted through these things. So it's always nice to see what comes.
So many beautiful comments. So, Angel says we are our own gurus. Amen to liberation. I love that.
Oh, true.
And then Zoe said, I found a golden cord earlier today.
Oh my God. There you go.
I knew it was a sign. I didn't realize just how powerful this gift would be. Thank you. Yeah, no kidding. Someone's got holy goosebumps, and welcome home, beautiful souls. Yes, absolutely. I love a Rumi too. We're getting lots of kisses and lots of love. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Share that back out. Yes. And call in those dolphins now, and the pink flamingos. I'm going to start communicating with them now because they showed up for the last 3 days. And when you show your cup, I'm like, what is it with these flamingos? I had no idea that you lived with them.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. And we tend to go into we're an hour from a big city, and we tend to go in now because we live further along the coast than we used to, through the jungle, like at an angle. But when we go down the coast, there's the beach on one side or houses at the beach, and the other side is lagoon. And depending, not always, but we'll see. I call them pinkies. I'm like, let's watch for the pinkies, and sometimes you see a few, and sometimes you just see so many. It's just like this blanket of pink.
Wow.
And, sometimes you see them flying. And we went through a period last year here where I was really missing seeing them because we only leave the house about once a month.
Wow.
So, well, I live on the beach, so I can do everything I love to do, right?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, I'm missing them. And then they flew over while we were sitting outside and went, That was the first time I'd ever heard them. And now it's like, if I might hear them, and this is what I do. I turn into an insane woman. I hear or something, and I'll go, swimming. Grabbing my phone. Like,
I know, we get excited. It's crazy.
Somebody, it's only me and Chris here. Somebody get a picture. So Yeah, they are really amazing. And I've always loved them, but they have another frequency that's been coming through. So I'm excited you're gonna play with them too.
So it'll be interesting to see what they brought forward too. So anyhow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
love you.
Sue.
I
I
love
love
your
you
energy.
too.
And I will see you. Well, we'll speak soon. But anyways,
Yes.
bye for now.
Yes.
Thanks to everyone who joined. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, hon. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
So we'll just finish up now with a little closing and
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
whoops.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to close up and so I want you to think about this card that I shared.
Okay.
And I know you guys can't see it on YouTube right now, but she was pointing at her heart. And so literally they were taking my hand and saying, point to your heart, point to your heart.
Okay.
Take that key finger that you would point at something and say, I love that. And then you're going to move that out. So I'm just going to put up some pictures. Here's Shadia. So we talked about her and she's definitely been here with us today. And we've got, I think this is Charlie. Forgive me, it's been a few years since. These are all my pictures from our beautiful opportunity to play with these. This is one of my pods. And so as you're soaking in the frequency, that's the wonderful thing about digital photography. It captures the actual frequency and essence. Hello, my love. So this is Anne, and this was Kate, and these are the auras coming next week. Here's Donnie, and this is the retreats. So we've got July and December and March. If you can get on it and want to come down for March, let me know. And so there's Donna. So this is Donna. This is going to be coming on Friday and sharing a violet flame activation with the dolphins to heal all waters on earth, including those within us and all beings.
Beautiful.
And she's also going to share like an enormous amount of information about the progression of dolphins in human care. So let me see if I can get to, here we go. As the, I don't know, I guess this isn't the right one. So as the energies are coming up and we're moving towards the full moon now, we're going to have, tomorrow I'm going on this trip. And before retreats, I always go on, I go out to the places and I am working with Gaia. And in Mayan, we say, Wayaninin, Mother, I am here. And this is how you speak to wherever you're going beforehand, to ask for that sacred permission to enter that space. Okay. And so if I'm taking all of you to a pyramid, then I'm going to be doing that. Here's Picasso. He was my first kiss. And I speak to that land, and then we start to communicate. So I'm going to be going to several pyramids tomorrow. And the next day I'm going to be going to the Dolphin Center. I'm going to be going to a new place that they have where they do different things we haven't done before, like echolocating in our brain for another level of sonar adjustment, and doing some other things. We've got new games we can play. And these are from the previous retreats. They have new things for us because I was there when they started doing a lot of this games, and they really didn't, they were just looking at us at first. Now they grab the balls and they play with you. So as you point to your heart right now, the waters of the earth that the dolphins have been raising the frequency for, and we would like to ask you and invite you to come on this trip with me the next 2 days. So this is part of the sacred journey and part of why they asked for this series to go till the full moon. So whether you come in person to one of the retreats, you can still be a part because you are part of our pod. And like Donna Marie saw a week or so ago when we talked, that she saw me going on this trip. She even got like, you have to go on this trip. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure. And I was like, you have to go on this trip. I was like, yes. And I'm going to sacred places and pyramids where I am going to be talking to the land and talking to the ancient spirits and talking to the powers that are rising. And every retreat I've taken to these places here in the Maya, world or in Egypt or wherever, they hold codes, they hold information. And like mentioned earlier, these are slowly waking up or they've been given permission to release and connect, and we've been raising our frequency. And it's been waiting for us to get to that point. So if you just see yourself coming with me, the dolphins are going to be like our chariots and taking us through the jungle to Koba, which is the tallest Mayan pyramid. And as I reach the top, there's a temple of the descending God. And that's us. We came down from infinite source, layer by layer, creating form. We came in at the top of this 9-step pyramid, and then we descended through it and down through it. There's sacred chambers you might be drawn to. And then you may remember your journey went straight down into Gaia and into the sacred waters. And in the sacred waters, we're going to be the channel for bringing in this new gold diamond light energy, and also to receive the codes that have been waiting for us. They've been waiting for these moments. These moments have been not just predicted, but predetermined and aligned so that we would have these moments of expansion, love, and support to realize that we are an important part of the chain. We aren't the forgotten ones. We're not the ones that fell into a pit. We have been traveling this path, always connected through this light, through this waters. And these hold codes of starlight from other places, and the land, and the crystals, and all the ancient civilizations. So what we're going to be doing as we go on this journey, and I will share my photos as I can, is accessing these points like being an acupuncture needle. And as we go down and we receive, then as I walk and as you walk, wherever we are, we're carrying those new codes we've received and released. And I will hold that intention and be the clear and open channel for this to come to you through me with the assistance of our beautiful dolphin friends. And then I will be moving to different places, different beaches, different cenotes, and into Tulum. And this is a sacred site on the ocean. So when we go here, we go at dawn. And we cleanse, clear, and connect. And the wind god rises with the sun. So you can see that. And that's what I'll be doing Friday morning at 6:30 Central. And every time I've gone there with a retreat group, we've had something magical happen where we were permitted access to some sacred temple. And here is where I first experienced just sitting on the ground next to one of the temples, going in deep, raising the frequency. I was taken down beneath the temple into the water, into the sacred cave that was below, not accessed by any modern people, only known by those who built this here, that they built that temple over it on purpose because of the energies. And it was the water nymphs and the water energies that took me down in there. And the frequency was Om Shanti. And it was all about peace. And this was the well of peace that chants and vibrates from this point out into the wind, out into the oceans, down into the earth, out into the jungle. And then you will come with me as I visit the dolphins and see Picasso and Shadia and Dogo. And I go get to meet some new ones. And this will expand our pod. And you're going to receive messages. We give great thanks for this beautiful opportunity to play with these cosmic beings, to free ourselves into these higher frequencies, that we may be part of the healing as we have been, but at a higher, more conscious level. Thank you for playing. Thank you for trusting. Bring yourself to us, and we will always show you how to play no matter what's happening in your life. Show you how to move through whatever may seem is blocking you or holding you back or obligating you. There's a freedom. There's a freedom there now. We're being taken to a place called Shelha. It's an ancient Mayan ruin with the Grandma Seba tree of life, who fell over, enormous, and has like a yoni open where we give blessings and we bring crystals, and completely fallen with one small root still attached to the earth. She grew 2 new children, 2 new enormous trees. Nothing can happen to you that you cannot keep growing from. It's only a change in perspective. And then the jaguar calls you back to the jaguar temple on a gorgeous open cenote. The jaguar vision is a gift for you, so that as you go into the full moon next week, you have and can call on the ability to see in the dark. That means through your own shadow, through your own pain, through your own dark. And that means through all the dark in your mind or around you or other people's. And it can draw protection, and it can be silent and unseen. And it can nurture you and show you how to detach from any thought and any feeling and any idea of who you are. That doesn't allow you to move in this world and between the worlds as the gift you were designed to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We give great thanks for this beautiful moment, this temple, these beautiful healings, this information, and this journey that we're about to embark on. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and this peace in our hearts, this joy and this freedom go with us in our breath, in our touch, in our steps, in our thoughts. And so it is. Oh, thank you. I didn't know we were going to do that, but I love that because this set the stage for my trip. So I'll just share with you a few more of these. Oh, this is a heart where we get to touch their heart, look in their eyes, kiss, and become coherent heart to heart with them. Of course, we got to hug and kiss them, but this I really love, this heart connection. I also do heart to heart weaving, and I'll do it when I'm not in the water. We also get to hug and kiss and feed the beautiful manatees who people kind of think look weird at first. Monkeys like to come too. And this is a little boy. They love playing with stuff. This is our ride from Atlantis, they say. And the ball game, they now start throwing the balls at you before you can even get in the water. They love to play, and they've become better at throwing it back and forth to each other than to us. But it's truly an incredible, joyful experience to get to do this. We get to do communication through emojis. They've reached a point now where the communication is coming back and the dolphins get to tell us what they want us to do. So it's very fun. And we always play pod games because they become incredibly intrigued. They come right up to your face like, "Ooh, you guys are cooperating. You're connecting. This is too amazing." So they back in to become between us. They go back and forth in front of us. And as we try to coordinate different levels of swimming skill, but they love it, even when we're in a circle. This is where they were trying to back in between us to be a pod with us. And this is them leading us. So it's the joy and the frequency healing that you get. And this is me healing on a paraplegic, beautiful Patty. I don't know if she's going to come down and let us do healing, but this is what we'll be doing with each other while the dolphins are going around. And we're going to have Thor. You can see the dolphin there behind, sending the energy through me. Whether you know how to do energy healing or not, believe me, you'll just be a conduit of bliss and for whatever's optimal. And the ability to do this, then at the end, we're going to do at least three of these, where we do an hour, fully supported by the life, and they just go and do whatever they want. And we see the pictures after, or you'll feel it or hear them, or they'll touch you in certain places or send certain frequencies through. And most people get extremely far out of their body. These two don't even know that they bumped into each other. And that was me. There was twice where Chris and I took them almost 20 minutes, maybe longer, to get us back into our body. People had all gotten out. There's Chris with 3 dolphins. They're doing I can see the sacred geometry of what they were doing. And it's beautiful because this lady over here came to the retreat and she's afraid of water and she's afraid of heights. And I was like, seriously, she came to 2 of them. She was so brave. And they gave her a lady to be able to hold her in a safe space right over the standing place. And the dolphins came up to her too. They didn't leave her out at all. So I'm just getting so emotional. This is one of our cacao ceremonies. This is in a particular beautiful chakra temple in the jungle that we like to go to. Or we do them in cenotes. That's the tree of life. The temple has ears and eyes. It's quite incredible. And this is more of that area. That was one of our groups. And this is one of the temples. This is the Tulum temple that I was telling you about. This is one of our retreat attendees who came all 5 times. Behind me from where I'm sitting is the ocean. This temple sits right on the cliff. And
wow.
And so, and there's a smaller temple further down that we were given access to. You're not supposed to, but we were given access to by the guy. And it's very tiny. And we're all on this little bitty platform hanging over the ocean. And it's just hitting the cliffs below. And the whole temple of Kukulkan, which is also called the sun god, and it's the serpent, and it's the wind god. And it was just vibrating. It was like it was just.
Wow.
So this was it. This is the temple where we were.
My God, I'm getting excited.
It's ridiculous. And what I love is that as the group forms, right, you become, your energy, your soul purpose becomes a part of how this unfolds.
Exactly.
So usually, I mean, I plan it, and then a couple of weeks before, I'm going to the places and whatever, and without a doubt, somebody comes up and say, "Oh, I just heard about this place," or "I just heard about this thing." So this was the sun rising on that temple I told you about that we got this access to. That's the temple. We got to go on it, and don't tell anybody. So that's it there too. I have a little video of us chanting. This is the sun coming. This is before we go into that. So this is all just Tulum. This is where I was sitting against that wall when I went down into that cave, and the water nymphs took me down in there. Was leaning against this particular temple. That's the descending god. You can see the human coming down on one of the temples there. And then below is this exquisite beach.
Wow.
Right below. You can go down and swim in it, and you can imagine what the vibrations.
I cannot even begin. Oh my God, I'm getting so excited.
This is a cenote. This is one of the round, deep, circular ones that has 1 or 2 oculus. You can see the light coming
through it.
Yeah. They're
My
just
God.
incredibly pure. This is Christian, and he's my dearest friend, Aztec friend who leads the Mayan Aztec ceremony for us. This is another cenote that we've been to before. This is a new one that he's doing ceremonies at now that we'll probably be trying. And so you can, that's his team behind there. This is a picture from a wedding he did there, but this is and we go in the waters and we do sound healing, and they told me this time it's structured water, so you're going to be receiving some kind of structures through the water. There's always been these ancient codes in it, and we do that healing, and then Christian does a ceremony in some kind of amazing place. And this is the Dolphin Center, and those are the restaurants we're going to be sitting at. So this is not like a SeaWorld where this is like SeaWorld where everything is behind a giant wall. This is a lagoon with an island, and that's where the dolphins are. And this is where you get to play and kiss with them. We also go to another place not far that has bigger places we can play more. But we're going to be staying right here, and we'll go down here and have dinner each night. This is from inside the island.
Amazing.
This is when they're doing the research on communication and some breakthrough research that the world's never seen before. Quite honestly, Donna's going to talk about it on Friday. And this is where they brought this guy playing the violin, came over from Brussels, Belgium. And this lady down here, Margaret, she's holding the microphone, and they're filming it, and they had all these sensors everywhere. And this was one particular thing where they were seeing, how do they react to music? And how do they echolocate on it? Are they drawn to it? Is it a way of communicating? So this is where we're going to be. It's a beautiful, safe, lovely village. And
it feels so good. Like the whole, everything you're shooting me, they're going like this. Yes, 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 yes. And it's like, they were telling me stuff last week too. I feel like they're going to be feeding me things that are going to take place when we go in November, because they're really showing me that there are people, we're going to be drawn there to do this incredible portal activation. And it takes each of our energies to open this portal. And there's something that's going to be birthed through this. They're showing it to me. And I was like, oh my God. And they're going, it's coming up from these sacred waters and being brought out again. But they're saying, you're going to be surprised on who comes to this thing. And I was like, really? And they're like, oh yeah. But each person, it's their soul's calling to come in. They're part of their vibration to act. It's like, they showed it to me like, when you have a lock and it's the numbers and
the dial,
numerological alignment, and then click, it opens.
Yeah, that's what we call key codes. When you encounter your key,
the
codes, right, it clicks, and it just depends. People come on these that aren't, or in the past, because it was 6 years ago or so that I started doing these, and with the last few years off, but several people came that really, they were meditating and stuff, but they weren't getting visions, and then they, within the 5 days, they're seeing colors, and these things are accelerated dramatically. And you never know. One guy came 100% for the dolphins, and it was when he left, he said that was fabulous, but it was the Jaguar Vision Quest that changed his life. Or we went to the Koba with 2 different groups, and it's a huge site. So after we go in early at dawn and all this stuff, everybody has a Mayan taxi. That's a guy with a little bike and a little thing you sit on. And they go off to see any other part of the site. And then we meet. And we all ended up independently going to the same temple and having this past life memory of all of us there learning stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
In a school, type of setting. And usually on the top of the pyramid, we get an Atlantean life or an Atlantean guide, or we're taken down through the pyramid into the waters and remember like what you did in a particular life in Atlantis. So one guy who came, the guy I showed you on the temple, he is a gardener. He has a gardening service now and in this life. And he went and said, oh, I was a gardener in Atlantis, but it was very different, and started.
Yes, you were saying that. Yes.
Yeah. So it's very cool. This is one of the cenotes, one of my absolute favorites. It's not a complete cave, so you don't get claustrophobic, but it goes to the back at an angle, and we can go right to the back where we're between the water and the walls, and we tone and chant, and the vibrational healing is just ridiculous. And
Wow.
you can go around and you can swim and you can see the things below. And I swear, I do not know if it's intentional or it's just a rock that fell in, but there's a big rock down there that looks like a dolphin.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I showed the guy who owns it because he was like, what are you talking about? So yeah, it's beautiful. So if you feel, anyway, I wanted to share these to give you the frequency, and if you're called to come, certainly talk to me about it.
Well, it's not that I don't want to come, but my whole, like, it's too close. Believe me, I wish I was there now. I almost feel transported, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, this is something that I would love to do, but I can't do it in March. It's just not facilitated.
Oh, no, I know. That's why we've opened up some more. So
yeah, but I definitely, yeah, no, they're saying like, we need to do this one for November. There's a divine plan of this one in November that we're supposed to be lining up with and doing. Anyhow, it's going to happen. But I'm getting like, it's going to be interesting because I feel like, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But they go, you do not understand the power that's going to be received. So I feel like the power of what we're going to be doing, but the power for each individual as well. I feel like it's going to be, the word transformation is falling short, they're saying.
Yeah, no, this is a new heart opening. I feel like, that lower water that you went to, that deeper inner capacity that we have. So, well, it's going to come through for sure. And the Dolphins, I'm going to go tomorrow, and then we're going to have July, and then Donnie and I are feeling like something's coming through. It is not on the website yet, but that's going to be coming through possibly for November. So the other thing,
Donnie.
Yes, she's Donnie. And the other thing too is I want to end with this, because the fun thing is that somebody on a summit I was on recently about whales and dolphins said, oh, they speak in sacred geometry. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's one way that you can interpret their frequencies, but definitely sacred geometry is a language. And so one of the things you're doing is you're in the water, they're changing the frequency in the water. They're also sending it just directly to you. But when we do the pod games, or we do things like this, and we then create sacred geometry within it, and then they start weaving through it. So there's a lot of things we're going to be doing together with them intentionally, weaving, healing.
The experience. I mean, I think that anyone who feels called to it should definitely go, because I don't think anyone would understand what they're going to receive until they come back from it. And I think it's a layered experience.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's
beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I love everybody. Yeah, it was so beautiful. Thank you for walking us through what that's going to be. I wish I could go now. But we will be there shortly.
We will be there, and this is wonderful, because in the past I used to do 2 on the 2 equinoxes. They asked me last year to give up being on the equinox, and yet they still came through with the dates for this equinox. However, the reason that the amount of people who are being drawn to this and saying the timing's not right now was what opened this up for July and for December, and then whatever Donnie and I will do. So there are these opportunities, and now people are jumping in with 5 people. Like one lady's like, okay, I'm down for 5 people. Another lady's like, okay, I have 4. And so you can see by the wave, like, what's happening. People are coming more, they're being drawn into the frequency. So whatever the timing is that's right for you, you will find it. In the meantime, you can watch these pictures, and you can do these healings, and you can come on my journey with me, and I'll be sharing onto Facebook, and I'll be giving Donna some, my assistant Donna, so she can share the pictures and videos from the little trip. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our pod, for playing with Donna Marie and all of us, and for this moment, because I truly believe that we are here as a pinnacle life in our soul, who chose to do this job right now in this life, because we came to complete a lot of shit. And so if you feel, knocked over by your life or bowled over by your experiences or uncertain about where do I go from here, this is the perfect kind of thing. Do frequency work, develop your intuition, get around things that help you to realign, and because it doesn't have to be a struggle. And remember to play. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you Friday with Donna Kasowitz. Ciao.